Hello, everybody. How's it going? My attention span can't handle this. To immediately finish developing the game, press Control Alt Delete. Wow, that sounds like such a good idea. I'm gonna do it right now. Lord Regent, hello, Noah Dot. Hello, Just a Human, Mammon. Hi, Camo Leon. Heineck David. Otavio. Ahmad. Yay, it's done. Yeah, we finished Disinherited, everybody. Inherited. We have inherited now. So for today, figured, we'll start with some, like, just chatting. We can ask questions, I'll answer questions, and then, my plan for today is to kind of implement the, what was it, pneumatic clogs relic, which I have not done yet, but I think it's going to be like one of the craziest ones because it's so weird. Like, I have to figure out how I'm going to make you able to bounce on enemies' heads, how I'm going to deal the damage to the enemies when you bounce on the heads. So I think it's going to be like an interesting process, but I would love to, if you joined and you're like, I'm thinking about a relic idea, I'm totally gonna write those down. So please do give your ideas in chat as well. Hi, how are you? I hope you're having a good day. I am having a good day, man. Thank you. Hello, found you from the original video that kicked this off. Loved watching the devlogs. Thank you, Maddox. How many relics do you want to have? I don't have really a set goal for relics. I feel like relics is one of the areas of the game where anything could happen, kind of. You can go as far as you want to, and it's just adding more layers of interesting gameplay. I guess there's a world in which it does get too bloated, but I think it's just, the more fun stuff, the better, right? Ooh, nice. I have a bunch of questions. Yeah, ask away. You gonna make the clogs appear on the character model? So this is a really common question or suggestion that I get about like making the relics appear on the character model, and because the character is hand drawn sprites, I it's going to be really, really hard to do that and have it look not terrible, especially because of the style that it's in. Like, I think that sort of thing happens in like Terraria. Rogue Legacy 2 is set up so that you can, like, different outfits can be put on the character. But for one, so they're using a different kind of animation, right? They're using different kind of art style in general where that kind of fits. And I don't know if it's going to be able to look good. Basically. uh I'm gonna try to do some things with that, like maybe like a fully different outfit, but because I'm not even done yet with all of Samuel's animations that he's gonna have. What will probably happen, though, almost definitely, is that there's going to be different VFX and sound effects that happen. So, like, say there's one. So I have one relic planned, which is like a glove that when you're holding it, when you're holding something, your bash deals more damage, and so I want that one to have somebody named Red Eye in the Discord suggested, like, it's like a heavenly hand, Kairioranos, and I think I'm gonna call it heavenly hand just because that's a little bit less of a mouthful. And then it's gonna be like when you attack, like there's this crackle of electricity to be like, ah, it's the heavens, like doing something. So like that kind of thing. That's not too hard. But the character model, because it's not 3D, it's not bone animation, it's gonna be really hard to do stuff like that. What is that painting on the wall? Birds, bear, and butterflies. This is, let's see if I can make it a little bit more. Oh, what? What did I hit just now? Oh, there we go. That is of Joanna Newsom's album East. All the songs on there. It was like a handmade thing that was somebody in like in a Joanna Newsom fan group that I was in, and so there's like one pen drawing for each of. This is kind of, I'm doing it backwards. Kind of fun. So like that's a Cosmia moth. There's a monkey and bear in the middle. Everybody should listen to that album. It's my favorite album of all time. Joanna Newsom, East. Hello, Mr. Charismatic. Love your game idea. We'll buy as soon as it comes out. Oh, I lost it. Keep up the wonderful motivational mood you have in all your videos. I hope you're doing great. Thank you, Matthias. I hope you're doing great too. That's very, very nice. Can't blow it with relics. Never too many. Thank you, Mammon. Starting art school soon. This devlog gives me so... Or game art school soon. This... Yeah, awesome. I hope you learn lots of stuff. I am, like, basically a novice or amateur artist. So, you're set to go way beyond me. See, will you continue with making the game after day 100? Yes, I will. I think at the end of day 100, I'm going to end up having, like, the Catacombs area, Augusta's area, and Silas's area pretty much done. And I'm really needing to have the Bank and Charles done. But I think that's about all I'm going to get to. I'm going to have to skip Eudor's area for now. So, after 100 days, so much more development can happen. And then we'll just see where it goes from there. It's going to be kind of like a tough balance of, I want to hit my original release date that I was hoping for of like February of next year. That would be a really fast development cycle. But I don't know, because I want it to be really, really good the moment that like it's released to a broader audience than like y'all are like the first people to hear about this, know about this, whatever. But I want it to be really, really polished and good when it goes out, because the first impressions matter a lot. So I'll have to figure out what the scope is that really works for that first release. Sometimes devs have a different artist style, do their cover art, Steam page, key art in a different style. Have you thought about doing this? I've thought about it. I think that approach is usually done for like pixel art, where you need like a more illustrative style to do that. I've been working on a new version of the key art for Steam, because, you know, I did that one in like one day, and it was, you know, it just had to be up as fast as possible, because it was like from the launch of the video, or from the competition ending to the launch of the competition, it was like a week and a half. And so I had to get the Steam page up so I could start capturing wish lists as soon as the Blackthorn video went up. But I think it should be pretty, I think I should do it. And I think I should just put more time into it and to make it look better than it does now. Also, I was using like Procreate's resizing algorithm, which I don't know if you know, but it's bad. It makes things super blurry and icky a little bit. So like a lot of the art that's on the key art right now, it's like used that, and so it's kind of like blurry and not as crisp as it should be. So, okay. For example, Ninox mouse should be easy for putting in a simple style on the character. Like maybe. It just also might look chaotic. And that's another thing, is that like when you have like a bunch of like different stuff like getting stuck to the character, like it can look fun in that like Dark Souls-y kind of way, but it can also very much change the vibe. Like I think in Hollow Knight, I think they planned to do that. This is here's my conspiracy theory. If you've been to the Mask Maker, which he's like blah, 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 like making stuff, and then, you know, that little place in Deep Nest, I think they intended that to be a character customization for Hollow Knight, like a really simple, like you can just switch out the head, and then they just left the character in the game because it's like cool lore. But I think they realized that that was going to be overwhelming, because of there's like hundreds of sprites for the knight, not the knight, the ghost, little ghost, whatever. Planning on relic synergies like Enter the Gungeon. Yeah, totally. A lot of the relics go along certain themes anyway, so. Yes, Otavio, you suggested the original one for that, the idea for that, and then Red Eye gave the name, which I love. Anything you would like to avoid with relics, things you wouldn't want to implement or would disrupt gameplay too much? I haven't thought about things that I would just like say no to. I think anything could possibly make for interesting gameplay, then I will be considering it. It is dense. The album, oh yeah, East is an extraordinarily dense album. I am dense, Mammon says. Any relics that have some negative effects? Most of the relics have positive effects. I think they all have quite positive effects, although they might encourage some things that would be more dangerous gameplay, like playing with lower light, or at least you could also think of them as like a mitigation of negative things, like having lower light might make you move faster. That's a positive thing. That's pretty risky though, right? Or having lower light might increase your defense. So I can think of them as more of mitigations. But what I'm planning on is like there will be situations where like you can take on a negative boon in order negative boon. What's the word for a negative boon? A bane. You can take on a bane or a curse in order to get a boon, so you can kind of balance that way. You're like, ooh, risk reward. After 100 days, 200 days, and then 300 days. I'm just going to Fibonacci sequence 500 days, and then there's going to be an 800 days. What does the 100-day celebration look like? Great question, Draman. I don't know. It should look like something, though. Are you considering getting funding or a Kickstarter to help with development? Would you ever consider the 100 days getting contractors or help on the project? Yeah, like potentially. I am considering getting funding on Kickstarter. I'm not really going to pursue publishers or anything like that. I think that is a difficult route and probably not really necessary. Like a lot of the work that a publisher might do for me in terms of promotion and stuff, I'm doing right now. Like I'm on YouTube, I'm making videos, and it's been a positive experience. So I'd like to keep going along this very organic route with things. But if I get enough funding, then I could through the Kickstarter, then I could possibly like add people to my team. But as of now, I kind of have to keep going almost. I mean, almost solo. Like there are people who are helping me with things, right? Like my moderators on Discord are a part of my development team. Playtesters are part of my development team. I'm having friends help me right now on a very like kind and pro bono basis. But it's uh in terms of like saying like officially like you are I am hiring people. I can't say that I'm going to be able to do that because I am basically completely broke right now. So that's that. uh yeah, I did work at a really high res on the key art, but then when you resize down in Procreate, it ruins it. It's so great. Hollow Knight is so simple, adding anything wouldn't work. Yeah, right. Uh, hey, Reds. Nice to catch this on your break at work. Thank you. Add Samuel customization. Blah, blah, blah. Posted. First time to the stream. Love the stuff you do. Keep doing. Thank you. Scribble Cat. Negative boon. Flaw. That makes sense. Satchel of insatiable desire is a relic that gives you more power if you have more coins. Less coins equals damage deduction. Ooh, if you're if you're broke, then you don't get damage. Noah Dot, are you a fan of Hades? Oh yeah, I'm such a fan of Hades. I love Hades. One Clutch One. First time stream. Welcome, One Clutch One. Hey, Breakfast Stealer. Glad you're here. There'd be relics that could give effects around you. No movement techniques. A gadget. Oh, like new movement techniques, like maybe like a grappling hook or something. Could be really interesting. I have to figure out how to work this in with like button press. I've been experimenting with my controller and getting that all up and running. So when you work with a controller, you have like limited amount of buttons that you can bind. So you have to be careful with how you distribute all that. Have you considered Relic that gives boost based on Samuel's current health? Oh yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean that's kind of a staple of a lot of these kinds of games, right? Like when you're at high health, you can deal more damage, or when you're at critical health, you deal more. That's very risky. If you were to expand your team in the future, what kind of roles would you want them to fill? Mostly programmers or also artists? I think maybe. Yeah, it's tough to say what is needed the most. it probably the programming stuff is like fine basically. That I haven't hit many solutions that I can't find something for or that I can't work out. Uh, but there's a lot of art that needs to be created. There's a lot of sound that needs to be created. And even though I'm a sound designer first and a musician first, that's like there's a lot. Okay, relic idea. Wait, did I skip? More power. Wait, I think I read that one already. Okay. Have you thought about a relic that's a lobster claw or makes your strong attack shoot a weak pebble with it? Yeah, yeah. Like something like adding on to the bash with some kind of effect would be like a very prime relic thing to have happen. 3 relics, a sword, shield, and arrow relic that each boost the damage of their attack each time you do that attack, but lower it anytime you do the other 2. That's interesting, kind of like a rock, paper, scissors. Dryden is procrastinating adding his relics. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Based on Sin of Greed. Yes, I can't remember that sin. Watching from my iPad now. Ooh, he said my name. Yes, I did. Hi, Faxi. What if there was a relic that was an inheritance letter to the cat? That's hilarious. F's in chat for Franklin, who is... Wait, here he is. Extremely sleepy. Just the sleepiest little boy. Here, can I do that? Can I zoom again? There he is. So tired. Never been a more tired dog. He lives an exhausting life. Okay. Wait. Now it's like very low now. There we go. Haha. Yeah, I always love the low health, more damage, because then you're like teetering on the brink. You're like, oh, I'm doing so much right now, but I'm about to die. Be interesting to see how Samuel feels about a possible journal entry. Oh yeah, that's true. You could really add some lore that way. Be cool to have a relic that would take away your ability to basic attack so you can only parry, but the rebound hit does 2 times damage. Interesting. I'm lazy. I'm copy pasting it so you might see. Okay. Got a ton of unique assets. Do you think you'll add general assets like foliage, rock bookshelves, or common items that can be in every area? Yeah, that would be really smart, wouldn't it? But all of the areas are kind of like very distinct in terms of like what belongs there, what kind of, and they're all a little bit, you know, they all have their own distinct visual language, so it's hard to have like generic like here are the things you might see outside, like rocks or foliage or whatever. There might be some things that I could do like that, but or maybe like chests. But even then, you kind of want chests to be distinct to the area too, if you can. I think could be really interesting instead of a simple damage booster relic that makes it so that when you have critical health, the lantern doesn't drain. That's very interesting. That's really interesting. Because one of the things about the game in general is that it goes really fast. And you have to go really fast in order for the Grim Reaper to not kill you. So you don't get to spend all this time like I'm like you might in some other game, like, okay, here's like a sort of bigger enemy that I need to fight, and I have to like attack it, and I have to wait for its thing, and then parry it, and then like you don't get a lot of time to like stay in one place because you have to be constantly moving. The Reaper's on you, and your light is draining. So things that are not just damage boosts are more valuable in a lot of ways. And I'm trying to find ways to make doing more damage even over and above the health of the enemy a valuable thing to have. But yeah, but it is that's one of the trickiest thing about this game design, where it's like very based on like parrying and throwing. How about item? A violin that deals damage to enemy with... It's horrible playing. Yeah. Fantastic. Relic idea. The chain of Sisyphus. Basically, some Greek dude tried to cheat death, succeeded, and then tried again and ended up in Tartarus, forced to forever push a boulder up a hill. Ball and chain. So what... So he would have, like, the boulder on his ankle, maybe? and then you could like deal more bash damage, but your jump is half height or something like that. Or you use more, you can climb less. I don't know. There's different ways of doing that. Your stamina is lower. Play a lot of Dead Cells, so just love the Cursed Blade. No, here... You're insane if you play with the Cursed Blade. I won't even unlock the Cursed Blade. I don't want it showing up in my runs. I'm not buying it. I'm not putting a single cell toward the Cursed Blade. It stresses me out. Oh, is... Jake tells me Missy's trying to get in. Hold on. Missy, come on. Come on in. Franklin, do you really want to go out? Or do you... Buddy? Is it just because there's lunch up there? Come on, buddy. Alright. Where are we at? Oh, slows you down a lot, but that gives you insane stat speed boost when in the vicinity of the Reaper, because players will purposely slow down and keep the Reaper on their tail to deal more damage. Oh, very cool. Okay. Scary. The Goblet of Souls, where whenever you kill an enemy, it adds a soul that spins around you and up to 3 that you can hit to launch it. Ooh, that's cool, because then you could, like, bash it in the direction if it's like... Yeah. That's cool. Sorry, sometimes I don't always see all the things, all the ideas in the Discord. I'm, like, very, at the moment, very overwhelmed with development and being kind of behind. So, I'm trying to, like, just stay focused, because I get very distracted otherwise. By the way, why do you mainly... Wait, oh, I skipped something. Missed something. Why do you mainly use Procreate for your art? Seems to me the software is a bit limiting. A lot of reasons, actually. So one, I know how to use it. Like, I can go really pretty fast with it because I've been using it for 2 years, like every single day. Another thing is that a lot of times I am just spending so much time sitting. I'm either sitting at the computer or I'm teaching and standing, and I am a person who needs lay down time. So having my iPad and drawing on my iPad is something I can do whilst laying on the couch. Hi, Franklin. Hi, big boy. Something I could do while laying on the couch and make some progress even while there's like a TV show on or something. And hanging out with my husband. Who's a good boy. So yeah, that's why I use Procreate. I know that Photoshop's a lot more powerful and sometimes frustrating, and sometimes good, but you have to like have a more expensive thing and then plug it into your computer. It's like a whole deal. Have I always been a fan of this Victorian dark academia style? Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of been drawn to that sort of thing. Like I was like a huge Edgar Allan Poe fan in high school. I mean, I still am, but like I was like obsessed. I also got to play Edgar Allan Poe in a play version called Nevermore my senior year. It was very fun. It was one of my favorite roles ever. I got to wear like a little black mustache. There's a lot of reciting poetry in it. Perhaps a relic that stuns the Reaper for some seconds after you pick up the... Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like the idea of there being like an effect that triggers after you pick up a bead. That would be an interesting mechanic to play with. Oh, message was too long. You had to split it. Got it. Hi, Joris. Hi, guys. Just joined the screen. Remember correcting you about the Caduceus artifact a while ago. Any updates on that? Well, it's just like I said something in the stream or in the video that was not true, which is that the Caduceus is the like the design of it is used in medicine. It's not. That's a common misconception. It's actually Asclepios, I think, or yeah, is it Asclepios? Hold on. I want to get it right now. Medicine. Asclepius is the hero and god of medicine in ancient Greek and mythology. But the Caduceus relic is really more tied to Hermes, which is actually in real life. That's Hermes' staff, and the relic's ability is about speed and damage, so it wasn't actually related to medicine at all. M's in chat from Missy. Love the idea. You could fill up the mansion with animals. I think it'd be great to be able to unlock new furniture and decorate the mansion with it. Yeah, that'd be really cool too. That's a whole nother system that I think would be really cool. I think that might have like this whole pets and furniture thing might have to be like an expansion afterwards because the like it isn't quite core to the game loop, but it's really cool and I think it's really fun. Kind of inspired by like the Chow Garden of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, which I was like all about. Let's see. Oh, it's raining. I didn't realize it was raining out today. Missy's very afraid of the rain. So that's why she wants to be down here. She's not always down here. But today she's joined us. Very good girl. Relic idea, get a big gun, a massive gun that one-shots everything and makes one killable. There is a cannon in the pirate area. That's something that you can pick up off of a certain enemy. Makes a lot of sense with the general assets. Some of the things that kind of expand their usage is shaders, recolors, redetailing, and using them for things they aren't supposed to be used for. Yeah. True. Could just recolor things sometimes. Would take a lot of the burden off. Likes to hold multiple items, or could that be one? Yeah, I'm toying with that sort of idea. I haven't quite gotten around to implementing it yet because I've been like forward. Zach is here. Dryden Co. Long time no chat. Should be able to tune in for this one for a hot minute. Yay, sweet. More highlight items. Good idea. What about a relic that continuously drains health if you're not moving but increases moving speed? Woohoo! Fascinating. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, it's like hot feet or something like that. Love a relic. Enemies with a small radius around you become charmed. Charmed is an interesting ability. I like that in Zelda games. I like it in Hades. Tummy time. Yeah, that's my lay down time. Procreate is a great program. Every program has limits and flaws. Truth. There's certain things that always bug me about it. The main problem right now is that, like, if I'm trying to draw something really big, like a lot of the bosses, it gets to the size of canvas where my iPad runs out of RAM. So I just can't add any more layers. I end up like compressing them down and trying my best. But Commode, how are you doing with so much hype around your project? The fact that you have to upload a devlog every week, I'm a bit worried it could lead to burnouts or something. Take care of you. Aw, thank you. At the moment, I'm doing okay. It is a lot of work every single week, every single day, but it's worth it. What I think that I might be tending toward in the future, I might shorten the devlogs. I know that's going to be a disappointment to some people, but if I could do like 7 or 8 minute ones instead of because like doing like 12 to 15 minute ones, that's a lot of editing time for both me and Husb. So it does get a little down to the wire. It gets a little stressful on those nights, especially if I'm like, oh, and when I get to the end, I'm like, I'm so tired of listening to my voice. I'm terrible. This is the most boring video of all time. I don't know. I think everybody goes through that, but it's always worth it. Theater kid or band kid? Theater kid, orchestra kid. I went to school for music theater, so that should tell you something. Although I am the worst music theater major ever. Like, I don't know anything about musicals except for very specific ones. The rod of Asclepius, I mean, got the number of snakes wrong. On the right, the rod of Asclepius is the real one. That has one snake, but the relic is called Caduceus, and it's tied to Mercury. Hermes. Make a sword that one taps everything, but after the boss leads you into a second room where you have to kill everything you one tapped with your normal staff. Oh! What did I skip? Where are you? Just skipped ahead. If there are Greek relics, why aren't any of the bosses Greek? Good question. There probably should be a Greek boss at some point. The idea is that the relics are just they're relics. They're down in Death's domain, and it could be from anywhere or be anything. It's just that that's a framework of myth that I'm very familiar with, so it's easy for me to just like go, oh, I can connect that to this thing. Red Eye's half coin, a relic that removes itself after death and brings you back with a little bit of health. Aha! Okay. Yeah, I definitely need something like that. I always think it's funny that like death defiances or just like extra lives in roguelikes. I mean, it's just more HP, right? It's the same exact thing. But I cannot deny that it feels awesome to like die and then be like, oh, it's over. And then you're like, oh, but wait, it's not. It matters psychologically, even though functionally it's like you get 30% more health. And that's really what it actually is. What about a relic that lets you throw a cane? It flies back to you like a boomerang. I do have boomerang movement programmed in now because of Guillaume's shovel. Currently coding using reflection in Java. I sold my soul to the mirror. Don't make my mistake. Oh, I'm so sorry, just a human. No, thank you. I'll pass on doing that. Enemies within a small radius around you have 10%. Oh, wait. Did I skip? I'm getting through everything. I will. On iPad, there's Art Studio Pro, which has a lot of features that Procreate locks, better brush engine, more function, stuff like that. Oh, I should check that out. I'll see if I like it a little better. CT stacks with a maximum increase. Wait, what's CT? Did I miss something? Oh, charm stacks. Yeah. Maximum increase of 50. That makes sense. Are the Hermes sandals in the game? I don't know. Oh, for like jump boost? Yeah, they could be. Ricochet relic, maybe. Or like something with like Hermes things, like whenever you air jump, maybe like something happens. That would be kind of a cool thing, because I have the sunstone beads which give you extra air jumps, but it would be cool to be like, okay, you just did an air jump, this effect happens. Ricochet relic, maybe bones can bounce between enemies. Yeah, I like it. Hey, I have an idea for a relic that gives you a friend that attacks like a familiar in Binding of Isaac. That could be really good. Like you could have like a ghost friend that like just like circles around you and like shoots out little projectiles that maybe go through walls and stuff. That wouldn't be too hard. A potion of strength gives you extra damage, but you lose HP if you don't consume a potion every 30 seconds. Maybe the relic. That's a good risk. You're like, what are my chances of spawning blood drops or blood salves and actually getting them every 30 seconds? Terrifying. Maybe the relic that's the inheritance for the cat could be increase Lantern's Light AoE, but Lantern's Light drains faster. It goes along either way, so the whole less Lantern. Wait, okay, I can process. I'm smart. Maybe the relic that's the inheritance for the cat could be increase Lantern's Light AoE, but the Lantern's Light drains faster, so it could go along either way. The whole less Lantern Light, the better. Okay, I think I get it now. Yeah, that could be really interesting. Ooh, a Greek area based on the Parthenon. That'd be cool. The good work. Been fun watching the progress on the game. Thanks, Cyan. Could you maybe create a game mode that your light level is your HP and then combine the HP and light together? Oh, that would be freaky. So one thing that I've been thinking about is different lanterns, like as opposed to like a lot of games where you get like different weapons, very drastically different lanterns. So like one that like shines directly in front of you. Somebody suggested a while ago. I've thought of like one where the light is big, it drains quickly, but the light doesn't change size until it's out, and then boom, you're out. So that could be a very interesting setup. But health and light are the same. That could be a really interesting version of the lantern too. Really interesting. Or it could be a relic that makes that happen. Idea for a relic from a pirate area. I assume that'll be filled in later. You were in music theater too? What? I was in so many shows, but I always like performing straight plays in a black box. Do I have a favorite musical? Yeah, my favorite musical is Company, but really anything Sondheim did is like really prime for me. And then I also really like Candor and Ebb. Chicago and Cabaret is probably top 3 for me too. Cabaret is one of my faves. And then I also just like the old Rodgers and Hammerstein stuff. I think that's just really nice music. Greek boss, Hades is the king of the underworld or the god that represents death itself, but the Reaper already does that. Oh, that's true. I do. The Reaper is named Thanatos, so that's the ultimate Greek reference, right? Will there be some kind of boss rush? Oh yeah, I'd love to have a boss rush mode. I love boss rush modes. Gosh. Okay, I'm back with food. What did I miss? I don't know, just a lot of yapping from me. Krita is also a pretty good art program, different from Procreate, but a lot more similar to Photoshop, but it's free. Will the relics change more cosmetically? I've talked about that some, but I hope something about it, but probably not like, it probably won't be like relics pasted all over him, because I think it could be a disaster. Use Krita to draw, although I have to admit that I have my problems with it overall. It's serving me. Franklin, hi. Are you okay? You need to go lay down, buddy? I know. It's so hard being a dog. Flute of Art. He was a poet captured by pirates. He was allowed to sing a last song. He attracted dolphins who helped him escape. Similarly, the relic can be blown to summon your pets from the mansion. Flute of Aryan. I've never heard of that before. I have a bunch of things, like tabs open, like Dagda, which is this this pot that somebody suggested in the cook idea that I mentioned on the last video, and like Hathron, this goat that would eat the leaves of Yggdrasil and give milk to people. Like, I just have like all kinds of tabs open of like mythology stuff that people are telling me about that's super interesting. Wait, in the old myth of Sisyphus, the reason he was tortured to roll the rock up the hill was because he escaped death several times. That is true. Some kind of Sisyphus reference would be great. I need to do something different with it than Hades did. That's always the challenge. Buddy, you are so loud. You are so loud. I know. You want to be seen. You wanted to do a Greek-themed area. Sisyphus could be a good, yeah, like a good boss to base it off of. Bro said, you let the lantern go out. You go out. You probably will if it ever gets to 0. What did I miss? It keeps on popping down to the bottom. A relic. Oh, the good. See, it's a bow that deals damage based on the bounce count. More bounces equals more damage. That is one of my favorite things in Rogue Legacy 2. There's this spell that like that bounces around. I would love something like that, which I think it could definitely do. A duck. You're a duck in musical theater? I'm trying to think what roles are there for ducks in musical theater. There's got to be some. Those are all great shows. Thank you. I made it finally. Thanos toes. You thought of boss relics? I haven't thought of the boss, of some of the boss relics yet. And even the ones that I have, I want you to have 2 that you can choose from, because I think that just always makes it more interesting. Hold on, I'm gonna let Franklin upstairs. The boy. Good boy. You can stay down here. You're a good little girl. You're a sweetheart. There you go, Missy. Okay. Oh, the Hermes boots, when you jump, it does a cloud platform. It makes oh, a rain projectile. That's so cool. That'd be really fun. School is doing Addams Family. Nice. I saw that one live. There's a bit in it where like Gomez like sits down on the bed and talks to her, talks to Wednesday and like gives some advice or something. And then like there's this whole scene, it's like very sweet or whatever, and then he stands up and turns around and there's this like enormous like black spider on his back, and it literally jump scared me in the theater. I went oh! Out loud, and people laughed at me. I'm very arachnophobic, and it was like it was big enough that it registered as like a real spider to my like lizard brain. currently getting my limbs ripped apart, but I can't miss the Disinherited grind. Respect. Hope your limbs are okay. Could be relics from other mythologies like Mayan, Aztec, Egyptian also has been suggested. Yeah, the 8-ball! That's the one! That was like one of my favorite ones. I think that's so fun. And I think that could easily fit in if you're like with the throwing. Like, it could be a projectile of its own or something. Oh, Vivian, you're in music theater too. Just finished Matilda. Nice. Boss relics were called heirlooms. That's cool. Big sad dog. Yes, he is a big sad dog. He has a tough time. More choices. Norse mythology references. Yeah, Norse mythology would be amazing to get some more of that in there. Relic that makes you more powerful the less beads you have. Yes, that's one I've thought of too. It's like the Sisyphus shackle in Hades. I think that's the one. Something from something from Native American folklore, but I would definitely. I mean, anything that I'm using that's not from my culture, I have to do it very respectfully and like thoroughly research and make sure that I'm not like messing it up. Okay. Cordy says, "Develop Dryden. No pressure. Just a reminder." Yes, I did. I do. I should probably start. Let's get to it. Share my screen. Boom. Okay. So, today, let's take a look at these hydraulic, which I'm renaming because somebody said this and it's too funny for me to not do. Hydraulic clogs. Because one, let's bring them up. They kind of look like clogs anyway, and also just the funny thing of like it's a reference to insert Nintendo character and clogs and plumbing connected. It's a good pun. It's not quite a pun, but a double entendre. I think it's too good to pass up. Okay. Do I have the actual item set up? No, I don't yet. So, item data. So I like to just straight up duplicate one of the items that I've already done. Hydraulic clogs. And let's see. So in case Mario wears clogs, Mario doesn't wear clogs, but but these are going to be clogs. Uh, yeah, got a lot of relics to program in. No kidding. A deck of tarot cards. I do want to do something with tarot cards. Has a chance to turn into something stronger or weaker. So it's like the element of like chance in the tarot cards. Very cool. Native American, you can probably ask your tribal elders if you have some questions and remember some of their stories if you want to double check. Oh my gosh, thank you. That's thank you for that offer. That's wonderful. I will definitely chat with you about that. How about a waterfall in Parataria that constantly pulls you down if you pass it? A famous plumber once wore these. Once wore these. Perfect. Uh, bounce on enemies and enemies. So it has to be this. Heads to deal damage. Or bouncing on enemies' heads deals damage. There we go. That's clearer. Hydraulic clogs. Which one I need? I need the full rect there and the tight here. Someday I'll fix that so that I don't need two separate ones, but right now we do. Okay, so the stat. Let's go to the stats. Just because this is my universal way of doing it. What should we call this? Deadly feat. Feat damage. Jump. Head. Mario bounce. Footstool. Let's see if there are any ideas in chat. How do you program relics without it being a mess? Oh yeah, I'll show you. But Breakfast Dealer, how it all comes together. It's a bit of a mess, but it's like I think no more of a mess than it has to be. Isn't this set in Victorian? Yeah. Hard to include some relics from Native Americans because it doesn't really fit the style. It's set so here in the setting you're in France, Victorian France, and you go down into the catacombs. But then it opens up into Death's domain. So this is like a world in which like theoretically any person can become a part of this or goes down into it. So it's like a universal surreal space of afterlife. So it'll all still be in the same art style, so it can still work. But I think that like relics can just be like stuff from anywhere. You made her work on the game UI. Some. I have a very little. I have a pretty minimalist UI right now. Stomp. Oh, stomp. That's great. Stomp damage. Mushroom for Mario, which makes you bigger, and then you can't fit through the small spaces, and you get stuck. Something that references Fountain of Youth. Yeah, Fountain of Youth is a popular one, and I think it could be a really cool idea to do some stuff with that. Out of a famous plumber to deal damage. Let's call it stomp damage. Stomp damage. Yeah, we'll just call it stomp damage. And if it's 0, then the stomp damage thing doesn't work. And if it is, then it does. Okay. That made sense in my head. Player data. So then this is where I have all of the, like, adjustable stats. And I alphabetize them. Sticky dodge. And then I can bring in any of the things that I did. So stomp damage is going in here. The value is going to be 0 as this is where I set the default value. And then stomp damage goes in right in there. And then I go back to the item, which is the hydraulic boots or hydraulic clogs. And then I can put that in there, stomp damage. And what this is going to do is going to, this one's going to stack add. So I have a modifier amount. And let's go with, let's just say it's 5. Price 30. The themes are going to be mobility. I think we're just going to, did I have a miscellaneous theme in here? No, I didn't. Okay. So it's just going to be a mobility theme one because it's all about jumping and bouncing and silly stuff. Dog collar that makes him immune to bones specifically. That's kind of incredible. Hat of a famous plumber, throw it to deal damage. Yahoo! I have not played that game. It's one of the reasons I got a Switch Lite anyway. But I didn't end up playing it, which I really should. Where's my boy, the Plague Doctor? Dark Ages area with him as the boss, or a relic that ends poison effects when you deal damage. Oh, poison, plague. That could be really, really cool. Like a poison area with a Plague Doctor boss, or even just a Plague Doctor character around from the 1500s Black Plague stuff era. Let's see, where was I? Did I finish my setup of the hydraulic clogs? I think I did. Price 30. Yeah. So now I have to go into active player data. Oopsie. Opening Visual Studio for the first time today. I had to restart my computer because nothing. It was like 15 minutes until the stream started, and OBS wasn't working. Nothing was working. My hard drive is almost full on the computer. I had to delete a bunch of stuff. I was like, okay, sure, this is all happening. Ooh. Don't know if you like, but instead of inspiration that you're thinking adding, you could use the mead of poetry from Norse mythology made of blood of Kvasir, god of knowledge. Mead of poetry. I think regardless of where it is, that could be something interesting. Like that fits. That fits. In all seriousness, we don't do more than one Mario reference. Probably true. Don't want Nintendo to destroy me. That's what I need to be thrown in the Mushroom Kingdom dungeons. Okay, so where do I want to sort this one? It's kind of a damage mods. We're calling this one commerce. Let's call this mobility. Catch, throw, dodge, roll, stand. Okay, so it's kind of, well, let's put it in jump stuff. Jump stuff. And we need a new, this is going to be an integer. Oh, we have this under movement. Okay. Public int stomp damage. That's important. Stomp damage equals, and then I'm going to copy this. And then unfortunately, this is a string reference. But things have to be what they are at the moment. Nintendo works very hard on games, to be honest. To be fair to them, those devs are incredible, but boy, their legal team sure does work hard too. Oh, what if you had a plague doctor that didn't realize he was dead, like he after working and just thought he was being relocated to help more people? Interesting. So you just have a bunch of plague-ridden folks down there? That could be freaky. Relic that makes your lantern go out faster the more money you have, but enemies drop more money. That's a scary trade. Relic idea, fuzzy. It's in the way. Fuzzy, the heart is like in the way. Fuzzy dice makes it more likely to find relics. Fuzzy dice feels a little too modern, but something with dice or something with a game of chance could really work for something like that. Playing with tweaking your luck is another thing that I haven't really done yet, but I would like to do. Like more likely to get relics that are in the same theme as beads you've already collected, that sort of thing. That could be something really good to play with. What happened here? Oh, I only put one. Just invalid expression term. Slash. Oh, literal snake eyes for dice. That's real cool. Or dice that give you like a random luck boost. Like, I kind of like that idea. A random luck boost every time you change your thing. Every time you change what room you're in. Okay, so let's go to the testing ground. So we're going to start dealing with this thing. So then here's how I like to test things. You go item prefab. Then I load this in hydraulic clogs. And then we got to figure out where this goes. How am I going to implement this? So I think it starts with Samuel, clearly. And then we're going to make a new hitbox for him. Called Clogs hitbox? Why not? And that's going to be a box collider 2D. How about? And we're going to arrange it so that it's kind of nice and down by the feet. And it doesn't need to be very big, I don't think. I think we want it to be pretty small. Yeah. Trigger. And then we're going to put the hitbox script on it as well. But this might have to be a special form of hitbox, because it's going to be a little different. Yay, Isla's here. Cornet Vorhorst. What is happening is we're implementing the relic called hydraulic clogs, which lets you bounce on enemies' heads to deal damage and jump off of it too. 2 mods. We got 2 mods today, folks. And Jake was here too. So almost 3. I don't know. He might be back at work already. He probably is. Relic Devil's guitar deals damage to enemies with the power of music. I don't know if he can play guitar. Maybe he could play guitar, you know? Will they fight? No, these mods get along. These mods definitely get along. Ooh, yeah, American West, Meiji Japan, other historical things like that. Basically anything before the Victorian era is technically fair game for inclusion because they could be down in death's domain. They could have already died like hundreds of years ago. Like I'm using some stuff from medieval Germany already. What else is there? I'm like thinking through the areas. Like the golden age of piracy is in there. Oh, did I do okay on the pronunciation? That's great. You can stomp enemies to do damage. What's stomping you? That depends. I don't know. I'm gonna have to. This is gonna be very much an experiment to see if this just completely unbalances the game or makes it wild. I mean, the big thing that's probably going to stop it is that this is not going to be able to parry. So if you get hit by a projectile while you're just bouncing on an enemy's head, well, you just got hit. That's not great for you. World War I and World War II characters, that would be after the Victorian era, so I don't know if that would necessarily work. I think anything 20th century is just pushing it a little too far. And we can break his glasses. There could be some kind of thing like that. Though, like, it deals darkness damage to you. Something like that. Let's see. Okay, so my attack data for this. Let's say that it is the light attack, or quick bash, that's what it's called. Let's just put that in there for now. Allegiance neutral. Can't be parried. Hit success impulse. Okay, what else we got? Stun controller. Okay. On attack success. I think that's going to be really key. So can I go to... Well, let's just do it first. Let's just get it in there first. Clogs hitbox. The first thing I need to do is limit it so that when you just walk into an enemy, it doesn't do the effect. Unhinged ideas are great, LNS. Oh, a time machine. Woohoo! That's a good question. Wouldn't Death's Domain exist outside of time? Maybe. That creates a lot of interesting implications. Implement some skins. That would be a good idea too. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of animation anytime you get a skin. It's not as easy as 3D. Everybody's like, 3D is so hard. But then it's like the asset creation for 2D. It's like out of control. Gotta have music release. What's Relstead? What is Relstead? Oh, music related relic. Okay, I can think. I can replace letters. Yeah, there should definitely be some music related relics and some book related relics. I think would be really cool. Okay, into the thing. So first, I need a hitbox. Let's just be temporarily. Let's just add a bool to the hitbox script. where it's like only falling, and then we can just put like a check in there for right now. Serialized field, direction dependent. Bool direction dependent. How do I put this? I'm going to need to evaluate it against the velocity of the rigid body that it's attached to. So I'm going to need to look in the parent for the rigid body, get the velocity, and say if it's within a certain range of velocities, then it's going to be considered a valid hitbox and do the attack. Okay. So what I need is a vector to... Let's see. Valid damage direction. This is absolutely bonkers. Whatever. Equals vector 2.0, even though that's what it will naturally be anyway. So we'll say on trigger, enter. I hate this script. I hate it. I have to redo it. No, not on collision. Where's my on trigger? Ah, try attack. Okay. Check velocity dependence. You know, that's kind of related to the idea already. RB. Okay, so let's put it in here. Well, no, this is a different thing. I hate this script so much. Just like keep trying to put new features into it, and then it just makes it so convoluted. But someday I'll just separate them out into different ones. Take a shot if you're playing the fantasizing about refactoring drinking game. So we're gonna say if valid damage direction. Let's see, do I get a rigid body in here? No. So let's have that be the serialized field. I'm gonna be really bad. Really naughty. Rigid body 2D. User rigid body. Rigid body. Now this will be actually important for putting in the caduceus too, because I need the information about Samuel's velocity as well, so I'll have to hook that in. Valid damage direction. Okay. So we're gonna say if user rigid body, because if I'm not using this feature, then again, I've messed up. Okay, there we go. If the user rigid bot, no, well, yeah, let's put it here. If the user rigid body exists and okay, how am I going to evaluate for this? So if it's down, I need to take the direction that it is, and I need to compare it to that. If this is 0, then we're going to ignore it, and if it's down, so we're going to take the sign. Okay, there we go. Mathf dot. Let's do it separately. I knew this one was going to be really complicated. Ooh, a relic that points to the nearest enemy or loot. That's a good idea. Kind of a nice little helpful. That could be part of that could be an upgrade to Augusta's compass that points you toward the exit. Yeah, you're not, X-Rather, you're not even the first person in this chat to suggest a Sisyphean boss. Which is I think that's telling. That means it's good. Doppelganger's domain, influenced by a German man, because that's where the word originated too. The Ganger, Doppelganger. Tried to cheat death by becoming or mimicking others, even when his life was up, he just became someone else. Whoa, and maybe he fights you as you. So it's like fighting Dark Samuel. Even if you use ChatGPT to code, you still need to understand the code it gives you. Super true. Because it gives you broken stuff all the time. Especially when I ask it for help on like complicated stuff. It spits out stuff and it's like, it doesn't work. And I'm like, hey, why doesn't this work? And it's like, I have a guess, but I don't know. I'm just using predictive text algorithms. Okay, user rigid body. Let's take, okay, mathf.sign of user rigid body dot velocity dot x equals mathf.sign use nope no of valid damage direction dot x. I mean, it really is. Let's call it what it is right now. If the user rigid body velocity y is equal to the direction of the valid direction, then we're going to say that that's okay. But we're going to reverse that, and we're going to say that if it's not okay, if it's not equal, if we're not going the direction that is valid, then we're just going to return, and we're not going to do the attack. Okay. Let me see if that all makes sense in my head. Yes. And then I'll finesse it later. Let's go in here, and we're going to hand this the... Oh, there must be another... Oh. Where are you? Oh, user rigid body. Okay. User rigid body, direction, -1. So this means that it should only successfully do an attack when Samuel is falling. Let's find out. Hey Dryden, sorry I've been catching streams for a while now. My work started up, and I couldn't catch them live. Oh, that's okay. Oh, that's so loud. You can't have a repeat performance of last time when I was doing sound effects and everybody was deafened. So let's open up Wise. One of the things I need to get to... Oh my. Oh, we've got lots of problems. Remind me tomorrow. Remind me tomorrow. Just go away. Projects. Open in Wise. I'm just going to make all the sounds quiet for now. Playing Factorio, it's a lot like coding. You make a setup, forget how it works, and then you need to revisit to fix everything. Yes, I've heard that Factorio is basically like a programming simulator. And that is very, very true. So this is my lazy solution to make the game not be loud so that I can have nice lo-fi music playing. Let's see if it worked. Okay, start over. Generate sound back, refresh. It should be silent. Oh, you have to make hundreds of SOs for your Game Jam game. Ugh, good luck. That's intense. Okay, so this should do nothing now. Actually, I needed one more thing. I do have some automated creation of scriptable objects in here, but it's like for a very specific purpose. I don't really think it would be that helpful. Depends on what you're making it for. But there is a scripty way to do it. Where am I? Clog's hitbox needs to be always active. Okay. So first of all, yes, that's good. It's not attacking at the moment, although I think it's on the wrong layer. So, yep, player hitbox. That's a good start. Okay, good. It is not hitting it. Nothing is happening. Whoop. I don't know why I did that. It should not be tied to that at all. Like, I haven't done anything. Unity looking kind of scary when you're this far down the game making pipeline. Factual. Okay, so it's not working, but that's fine. We'll figure out why. Echo's here. What's up? Possible for there to be a mirror dimension or something. What would be in it? Perseus' Discus. Item that makes your thrown items sometimes stun enemies for critical damage. Ooh. Name comes from the ending of the myth of Perseus, since he offered... Yeah, right. He offered his father on accident. The prophecy was complete. He didn't even mean to. Yeah, there's gonna, like, not a town around the mansion. I don't know if there's gonna be too much of an overworld like that. I think it'll just be restricted to the mansion, and then you go into the run. I don't want to overcomplicate it. I mean, maybe there could be eventually, like, I could expand to that. But I can't be thinking of, I can't think of too many ways that it could, like, mechanically implement, besides just, like, being cool. So why... Okay. Let's go back into my guy, Samuel. And actually make those changes in real life and not just the in-play mode. So we're going to say, oh, allegiance needs to be player. That's going to help. Player hitbox. We're going to say always active. I'm always taking Relic suggestions. It won't necessarily be made because, you know, I'm one person. Yeah, there we go. At least it's working now. Okay, you're kind of a jerk. Stop that. Boom. Okay, so that's working. And it, yay, this is good. Oh, that's not great. So it should not be working when I do that. And yet it is. And I have a suspicion that that is because Samuel is always moving, always theoretically has a negative velocity. Yeah, even when he's just standing on the floor. Let's go back to focused and not maximized. So even when we're just walking around, that he will sometimes have a negative velocity. Gosh, you're just not going to stop, are you? Okay. Well, at least it's actually triggering now, so that's step one. So how do I make it? Should it be like it has to be above a certain threshold. Threshold, that's what I actually want. But how do I make it so that that threshold is bidirectional? So like, if I'm generalizing this, I want the threshold to be like, if it's a positive, then it has to be above the positive. But if it's a negative, then it has to be below the negative. So I guess I'm going to have to evaluate the sign thing again. Say that it's in the same direction and the same, and a greater magnitude. I don't like any of that. But there's got to be like a simple way to do it. If something... No, that's ridiculous. Absolute value would just flatten it. And it would make it so that like, if you're going up by 5 and it's -3, like it would say, yes, we need it to be negative. I want like, there's got to be a function for this. Turn your operator value X is greater than threshold. Yeah, like that makes sense for one direction, but I need it to work for negative and like be more negative than -2, if that makes any sense. It needs to be in the same direction and more extreme. So I think that's just two evaluations. If the sine of y, so yeah, here we go. If it's not equal, then it'll just return. So it has to be in the same direction. That is one step. And then we're going to say if that sine, no, not sine. Now I don't need the sine. Now I need the yeah, I do need to know whether it's positive or negative. Equals 1. And ooh, I'm almost there. I'm almost there with something. I think if I spell it all out, and then I might be able to find like a different. So if it's positive, then I need it to be more positive than the threshold. I'm missing or I have an extra in here somewhere. Oh, that's extra. And let's flip it. Return or equal to. Nope. Or equal to, then we're going to return. And we have to do the opposite condition. If it's -1, then positive, greater than or equal to. That should work. Now it's not a valid damage direction. Now it's a velocity threshold. And I'll probably have to do this for X too. So let's go here. Find and replace. Within the selection, replace Y with X. Ah, but it's going to replace the ones in rigid body. So we're going to replace dot Y with dot X. Let's go. Replace. Okay. That's big, it's messy, but it should work as intended. Let's see. False, you can deal damage. If it's true, you can't. I don't have any, like... I could have something like a ground checker. I mean, I do have that for the player. And right now it might be a good idea to make the specific case and then generalize it out to a general case. But I'm trying to get it so that it can operate just based on any rigid body and not just like the player with the ground checker. Although, yeah. Okay, so now, oh, I need to actually set that stuff. That would be a good next step, though. It's more complicated. Okay. Because the enemies don't use ground checkers, they use something a little bit different. Or they don't use the same ground checker as the player. Which those should be generalized to the same thing too, but you know, we'll get there. Where is it? Oh, Clog's hitbox. Let's call it a -2 velocity threshold. So cool. Ugh, I should choose a different enemy. This one's too annoying. So good, this is working. 1, 1. I think I just missed it that time. Okay, we're switching out this enemy. It's too much. Samuel, okay. So that worked. What was it? Clog's hitbox. -2. then, where are you? Clockwork Sentry. Get out of here. I don't want to see you anymore. And then we can have... I had a bunch of skeletons in here. There we go. Okay. There we go. Oh, Corne, we have we already have a double jump. It's just a prayer bead. Ooh. What's happening now? Did I mess it up? Oh, I see. I don't see exactly. Oh, okay. I know what's happening. Because I have my X, if I land straight down, then it's canceling it out because I have 0x velocity and it's not greater than the 0 that's in the threshold. But if I'm like inputting a direction, well, I thought that was what was happening. Silly. Yeah, we can triple jump. The double jump thing is stackable. So like if I go sprite. Oh, it's just the sprite. No, that's not it. If I go like this, item prefab, load in sunstone bead. What somebody was saying with the Hermes shoes is like, I think it'd be cool if every time you air jumped, boom, 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 like something would happen. Like somebody was saying like you should spawn a cloud that does rain if it gets hit or something like that. Like something with this could be really good. Like it triggers right when you do an air jump. Okay, so why? My question. Oh, hold on. Is what's happening? I have a suspicion. It's probably not it, but it's, you know, worth a theory. Clogs hitbox. Okay, player hitbox. Player. Nope, it was not that. Did always active get turned off? It was working not very long ago. Or at least it was working conditionally. A burst of speed. Oh yeah, or if like if these got like way higher too. Oh yeah, a burst of speed, like your movement speed goes up every time you air jump, something like that. That could really work. So now the question is, why isn't it? Let's go. Oh. Throw your bone. No, it's not going. Interesting. I wonder at what point. Oh, air dash ability. Oh, so yeah. Usually, right now, this was a playtester request. But if you dash in the air, then this is what happens. You go like very much at a downward diagonal angle. But a Hermes air dash could be like you go across like really fast. You could make something like mathf.sine of velocity.y times what? Equals mathf. Oh, yeah. It's negative times negative would equal positive, positive. Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Um, are the bindings of hell lets you hold on to walls longer without losing stamina. I like that. Yeah, something about walls and stamina, or like just being able to climb better. I think that would be really nice. Or even something with like when you're climbing. Oh, see, that one worked. Why did that one work and the other one's not? That's my question. Oh wait, hold on. Oh look, it works when you're going in a positive X direction, but not when you're going. Ugh, come on, stop throwing stuff. But not when you're going in a negative X direction. So when you're going right, but not when you're going left. I think I know why that is. I think I forgot to invert the one. Okay. That was really great math, ESN rack. So if, let's see, where do I go? Math F sign, if it multiplies out to even. I knew there was something like that. Velocity threshold. Dot X equals -1. Ugh, insert. Ugh, I can't type. Ugh, everything's falling apart. -1. Why? I turned off insert. Stop it. I think my keyboard got discombobulated. Okay. Equals -1. Then we're going to return. So that's the first test. Let me think this through. They have to be the same direction. Also, they have to not be 0. MathF sign always returns 1 or -1. Oh, but it's returning floats too. Why? Should not be doing that. And that makes it harder to evaluate. What? I thought MathF sign returned returned an int. Or maybe you need to cast it as an int. What is happening right now? Come on! How do I get this to stop doing that? Numlock. There we go. MathF.sign. Y greater than or equal to is better, yeah. Make it work, make it right, make it fast. Gorgon. Ooh, turning enemies to stone. That could be cool because you could just do it with a, what's it called, like a shader effect. See you later, LNS. So I guess I can cast it to an int, and that should work the same way. Or it'd be like more, what's the word? Now I'm like so lost on what all I did. I came back to it like 2 seconds later. Okay. So if the sign of this is not equal to the sign of that, then we're going to return. Correct. If the sign is equal to 1, okay, then we're going to do is greater than or equal to, or is greater than 0. How about that? And this is greater than that. Okay, and if that's less than 0, and we probably don't need these ints anymore, and this is greater than that, we're going to return. Let's take out the X stuff for now. That was more than I bargained for at the moment. Insert moment. I hate insert. I don't even know why it's allowed. Oh, does sign return 0? I thought it returned 1 when it was 0. Boom, smash your head. Smash your head. Okay, it's good. Not smash, not smash, not smash. That's also very good. Cool. So this actually worked. Another way that I could do this is have it validate the hit based on like the relative position of the hitbox and the enemy, or the thing that I'm smashing. But I am not going to do that right now. Yeah, okay, this is now functional. Hooray. Okay, so now the second part that I need is when it is successful, we're gonna maybe add an air jump. Let's look at Samuel. Oh, player. It's not entitled Samuel. Air jumps. So I have my reset air jumps, but I don't have one that's just public void add air jump. So we're gonna say player.current air jumps plus plus. I could have it taken an int. I don't know why, but int jump to add. Jumps to add. Plus equals jumps to add. Sure. So now I can go back to my... Eventually, I can go back to my hitbox script. And go... where are we? Clogs hitbox. On attack success. To player... where was that? Add air jump. Why am I not seeing it? Am I losing my mind? Public void add air jump. Player add air jump. That's weird. Is this oh, hold on. I think I know what it is. I think on attack success might send something. It'll be up at the top. I don't know what I'm doing. Nope, it doesn't. So what's... Oh, it can't send anything. That's what it is. It can though. I don't know what are we doing here. We'll figure it out. Add air jumps. Wasn't I just here doing this? I feel like I'm losing my mind. This is just such a big script that it's horrible to look through. Might have been in player movement then. Ah, that's why it is. Okay. That would make sense why you can't do that. Because it's in a script where that is not a thing. Okay. We'll just put it here for now. Put it next to... Ah! Aha! It automatically moved me over there. That's why things got funky. Okay. Whatever, I'll just pop it here right now. Deal with the fallout later. That's what I had there. There we go. That's fine. But it's sending it back to player. Okay, this is getting very silly. This is what happens when you're just like, put the features in. We'll deal with it later. We'll clean it up later. Air jump. Current air jumps plus jumps to add. Yeah, there we go. Now it should be exposed here as a thing that I can do in player. Add air jump 1. So simple. We love it. This code just screams single responsibility. No, every responsibility to the 1. It's such a double-edged sword. Because you're like, ah, there we go. So now I can bounce off of the head. But I also want there to be like an automatic effect here. Boom. Okay. So right now when I jumping on the head and then I press jump. Oh, then I get to hit again. That's funny. Okay. Then I get to have a bounce up. But I want there to be an automatic bounce up. Also, I don't want, if I don't do it like this, I don't want to then have a free air jump later. So what needs to happen is that on... So right now, on grounded resets my air jumps. But what does that mean? Player.activeData.airJumps. So that should reset it to 0 every time, because I don't have any air jumps right now. Unless there's something funny happening in the public accessor versus the hidden one. Nope, there isn't. Let's see what it is. Current air jumps plus equals jumps to add. Yeah. Unless it's adding like multiple at a time. That could be what's going on. Like it's activating a bunch of times. Does that mean you can now jump on death? Honestly, I don't know. Yeah, it's no because no, because death won't take any damage from it. Whee! And that's pretty funny in and of itself. Bounce, 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 bounce. Alrighty. Let's see what we got here. I needed to. Let's just put in a boost here. Avoid. Upward boost. Float, boost speed. And we're gonna go move. Dot add boost. vector2 dot up. Oh, it's going to tell me to reorder this eventually anyway. And then the decay, let's call it 0.9 for right now. Right? That's asking for a float. I just might add some torch head statues. Let's see. Yeah, I'll check it out, Mauricia. I mean, like, I know that this is not, like, optimal code right now. Nope, that's not working. And I know that I can also do it better. But right now, I'm just trying to get things working. And then we can make it, like, a lot cleaner. Perhaps when I'm not on a 100-day challenge to finish as much as I can with the game. So maybe that's just not a big... Oh, right. I actually didn't trigger that ability at all, Samuel. Let's go back in. Clogs, hitbox. Go, Samuel, player. Upward boost. Interesting. Why does it want me to do a float? Oh, it wants a float, but... Oh, no, I set it up to do a float. Let's do 12. Let's be silly to start with. To really make sure it's working. It's... Oh, this relic is called... What's it called? Hydro... Perfect. Perfect. That's the desired effect. That's it right there. This is peak. That's peak performance. Whoa, oh my god. Well, that's certainly entertaining. Let's go down to 2. Let's see what happens if it's just 2. Okay, that's boring. So boring. How about 5? That's too exciting as well. 3. So I think it's going to come down to... Yeah, it needs to be a much fast... It's not terrible. Also, there should probably be some kind of animation. Like, it should start the jump animation. That's funny. That's goofy. Okay. So it needs to be a faster decrease. So let's make this 4. This basically to explain what that does, the boost decay is like, it applies the boost and then the boost decreases every fixed update. So every time the physics is updated, it's going to be multiplied by that factor. Samuel wanted to be Mario. Oh, what it looks like without the other original cursor. In a build, it won't have the original cursor, but I don't think I can get rid of... Wait, hold on. Maybe I can. Display capture. I think I can do it in the properties of this. Capture cursor, turn it off. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you shouldn't be able to see now. Woo! Ah, that feels a lot better. Oh my gosh, this is actually really fun. I'm not pressing jump at all, except to get off the ground. That's so funny. Whee! Okay, this is officially the most fun relic. I'll have to change its damage. I also want its damage to, like, scale with how fast you're going, how fast you're falling. Maybe each time you bounce, you go higher than the last. Ooh, okay. Pendant, Charm of Insanity. Doing more damage in a rapid succession does more damage. 1 second window to do more damage. That makes sense. Like, or like a berserker thing. I've seen that before. It's kind of hard in this game to get a lot of like dun 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 to get a lot of things. But 1 second that could be pretty good, or like it could be even a longer window since the thing. Okay. So let's call this Samuel. Let's go back in. And then I do have a script that I've already set up for item dependent object. Oh, nope. And then I misclick. Okay, item dependent object. So hydraulic clogs. So now what should happen if I actually wrote this correctly and didn't like go complete squirrel mode is that it won't work. Yep, there we go. It won't work. And then it will work. Ah, so here's what I actually have to do. I have to redo this little item dependent object script. We're going to set it active to false, but we're also going to on enable subscribe to, let's see, player data dot on item added. Whoa. Plus equals check to activate. Check for item. We'll just call it check for item. Private void. Oops, sheesh. Don't want that namespace in there. Using directive. Okay, private void check for item. The item required item. If required item. If this dot required item equals required item. Game object dot set active true. This will make it activate. At such time as the right item is gained. This is a joke, but you could easily make it exist. Cupid's arrow if you hit one enemy and then others. They get chained together. They get married. Okay, so now it's not working. But then, once I grab the item... Okay, no. False. Oh, of course. Because I put it in on enable. Of course, it's not subscribed to the thing because it doesn't get enabled. Well, no, it won't get... It won't. So we're going to just put that first. We're going to put it in start. Might even put it in awake. We'll see. If we get really wild. Make one of the bosses an American president. I mean, yeah, maybe. Some of them would be dead by that point. Oh man. I thought that would really work. Let's see. Did I miss something in the setup zone? Aw. I like to read comments. Oh, event channels. Okay, that... Yeah, I looked at that. I've not watched that Get Amend video yet. I tend to really have to, like, sit down and think those ones through. Let's see. Okay. Check for item. What if I put that in awake? let's just see if that works. Oh, sweet. You sent me actual code too. Nice. How far? I have not looked at them yet. I'm crossing that bridge when I come to it because there's a lot to look through and I don't want to like pre-bias myself against like if I read ones that are read first, then I'm going to be like, "Ooh, God, I kind of like that one," and blah blah blah, and then I'm going to be biased towards it forever, even if like a really great idea comes later. So I'm trying to avoid that a little bit. Okay, so let's see what the actual issue is here. What's happening? So that's turning off. Is it that a game object that is off will not receive messages? That might be the case. So in that case, let's do a much worse solution, but it will work. And we're just going to go look at all these hitboxes. Field, hitbox, oh no, just game object in this case. Clogs hitbox. I think this is going to be one that I just deal with later. Anyway. I think I've been streaming for about 2 hours now, so I'm gonna go get something to eat. But thank you all so much for joining me and for sending your relic ideas and chatting with me. This has been really fun. Marisha, I'm gonna check out that code, and yeah, we'll wrap it up for today. Thanks everybody. I will see you later. Next stream is on Wednesday night my time. I'll schedule it out so you can get a reminder. And then on Friday, I'm trying out, I'm going to try to do a little bit of gameplay for a stream. I've never played games on stream before besides my own right now. But I'm typically not extremely productive right after a devlog comes out anyway, because I've just like spent the last night like working on the devlog and everything. So I figured it might be good to get a little bit of like game research in, because I've been salivating over some of the games that have come out recently, like Animal Well and Nine Souls and stuff like that, and Bow. So I'd like to like play some of those new ones and get some inspiration, and I think it could be good to like hang out with you guys while I do it. So anyway, stay tuned for that, and thanks everybody for coming. I'll see you next time, hopefully.